I just put in a load of laundry and I feel like you guys can hear it. The machine is next to my room. At this point, it has become white noise to me. Hi guys. Wait, what was that fucking... What's her name? Oh my gosh, Trisha Paytas. I feel like she has been in like every fucking... That woman, I aspire to be her. No, she has like lived every possible timeline possible. Fuck, wasn't she in like the Eminem music video? Oh my gosh, am I getting copyrighted for that? I hope not. It's like every week I would open YouTube and it would be like, I've become a Domino's worker, and then it's like a Barbie, and then it's like, I think she is the Barbie. Isn't her daughter named Barbie? I love that. That's so on brand. That's so LA. Welcome to the Melting Podcast. This is your host, Simanur. Oh my gosh, I've always wanted to say that. Thank you guys for making my dreams come true. If you're listening to this, give me a 5-star review on Spotify. Did I come off as aggressive? I meant it. I meant every word of that, what I just said. Give me a 5-star review, or we're not friends anymore. No, just kidding. Be honest. If you hate it, give me a 5-star review anyways. Fuck, I'm having so much fun with this fucking microphone. What's up, you guys? What's up? Let's go. I'm fucking hyped. I just went on a run. Okay, I had a nice little dinner. I had like some salmon and like just a salad mix. You know, the ones you get from Albertine. And then my mom, like, she has this like thing with, what is notekşisi in English? I think it's pomegranate molasses. Yeah, you guys just learned something new. It's pomegranate molasses. I feel like it's like pronounced differently because I feel like I'm just saying asses now. Ass. Molasses. Okay, you know what I mean, right? And a little bit of salt in there. Not too much. Bro, Turkish people cook with a lot of salt and a lot of oil. I feel like this is very like culture. Like, I think this is like part of the Muslim community. Like, I don't know, historically, culturally, there's just a lot of oil and salt going on, which is why all the aunties have like diabetes. Is that so? Oh my gosh. Okay, you know what? All of my aunties do. So don't come for me, okay? Don't cancel me. So yeah, it was good. It was a great salad. I also had like chickpeas in there. For those of you that don't know, I'm a vegetarian. Actually, I'm a pescatarian since 2 years. I keep forgetting that I'm a pescatarian now because I eat fish. If you don't know, a pescatarian... So listen, okay, when I say if you don't know, it's because there's a lot of people from the Netherlands listening to this. And some terms can be a little bit different. Actually, I think pescatarian is like pescatariër. What the fuck do Dutchies say about that? See, I don't know what the Dutch term is. Whatever. So I eat fish, but I don't eat meat. And I used to be a vegetarian for 6 years. Bro, that shit was crazy. When I came out as a pescatarian, a vegetarian, I was like, Mom, I'm not eating meat anymore. She looked at me and she was like, shut the fuck. She gave me this look. I was like, Mom, I'm not eating chicken and meat anymore. And then she was like, okay, what the fuck are you going to eat? Back then, actually, I wanted to be a vegan. Like, I wanted to stop eating cheese and just dairy products in general. If you know anything about the Mediterranean diet, you know that it's filled with cheese and milk products and yogurt. And, Greek yogurt, Turkish yogurt, whatever. It's impossible to be a vegan if you're surrounded. See, if I was maybe like living alone, but back then I was like, what, 16? When did I turn vegetarian? I was 15 years old. I don't know in how it is with y'all, but in my house, like, it was just, I would eat what my mom would provide. So she'd like cook dinner and I'd like eat whatever she would make. So that means that at 15 years old, I would have to learn how to like cook for myself if I wanted to be vegan. And honestly, I don't think I wanted to do that. I just think I was way too lazy for that. And also, my mom I would feel bad because she would probably feel really lonely, and I just wasn't ready to, I guess, quit having dinner time with her and like Sunday breakfasts. So I settled for vegetarianism, and then I think the very first time I ate fish again was in 2021 when I went on my hot girl summer trip with my best friend. We went to this Turkish little town. It's called Alaçatı. It's in Çeşme. It's beautiful. You should go if you haven't been before. And we were deciding on dinner. I think I had been like debating on eating fish just because the fish in Turkey, I feel like is very fresh. I don't even know if that's true. I'm like basing this on literal, like just a feeling, just a vibe that I'm getting. So the reason why I became vegetarian is because of the climate. I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna like, some people said like, oh, what, you're gonna save the world by yourself? Fucking eat the fish. Like, the meat, it doesn't matter if like one person doesn't eat it. Sure, okay, whatever. Fuck you. First of all, no, just kidding. But I decided on just doing that to like feel good about a cause that I care about, and not everyone gets it or got it back then. Whatever. So with fish, though, it's like, maybe I should educate myself on this. I might be completely wrong. I feel like it's much less of a environmental issue. Well, it's probably an issue for sure, but it's much less of a like level than meat and poultry. Yeah, so I was like, I'm gonna just eat fish. And also I was thinking about like back then I wasn't necessarily doing much with nutrition either. But when it comes to like protein and like, you know, just nutritional value, I think that fish has a lot, and especially with like omega-3s and stuff. And I was sick and tired of taking supplements with omega-3 because that shit smells. That shit stinks. It's gross. I'm not gonna like throw up here, but it's not good. But fish is good. Sorry, taller little fishies, if you're listening. Nemo, I'm sorry, buddy. You're great. I wouldn't eat you, I promise. Bad joke. Welcome to the Dad Jokes with Seema. I ate fish, and then my mom was like, okay, well, when are you going to start eating chicken then, huh? And I was like, nope, not happening yet. I don't know. I feel like meat is just, at this point, when I went to Bosnia a year ago in April, I believe. Yeah, I think I had like one piece of cevapci, which is like, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correct. Don't come for me. It's like köfte. It's like just meatballs, sort of, but it's not in the shape of a ball. It's like, I don't know, you have to just Google it, okay? And I was there with a friend, and he was like, you know, just eat one because you're here. I don't know. I think I was like, maybe I had a little crush on him, so I was like, okay, fuck it. Which is like such a bad example. Like, you should not, guys, don't change your morals and your beliefs based on what a guy wants you to do. But no, it was fine. I wanted to. I tried like one bite. See, the thing is, I tried one bite and I had to throw up. And I think that's because like my stomach just couldn't handle it anymore. I don't think that like, I think that's to do with like the bacteria specific in your, what is it, bowels? Is that the English term? It just changes if you don't eat meat for a long time. I guess you like lack of certain bacteria to like digest that food or something like that. I don't know. I just had a really bad reaction to it, so I like vomited. And trust me, it was a good place. Like, it's not that the food was like out of date or something. No, it was just, I guess, my body's reaction. So when I moved to New Jersey, I was an au pair. I lived there for 6 months, and it was supposed to be a year. And I stayed at a family's house. I'm not going to name any names in this thing, but we're going to like, let's give them like code names. Not code names, just like different names. Okay, let's call the host mom, let's call her Lindsay. And then the host dad, let's call him James. Oh my gosh, if there, by any chance, if you guys are listening to this, I'm sorry. It's happening. Sorry. Okay, you guys are great. If you're listening to this, y'all are awesome. Okay, so Lindsay, James, and then their 3 kids. Their 3 kids were 8 back then. They were 8, 5, and I think 2.5, 3. Okay, so if you're not familiar with the concept of an au pair, basically you are a nanny, a full-time nanny. You work 40 hours a week, max. So it could be less. But I guess the difference is like you stay at their home. So I think, does a nanny sleep over at the house of the kids that she's nannying? I don't know. Well, so I did. Au pairs do. And it was great. It was in New Jersey. It was in this little town. I don't think I should say the town, but it was like mid Jersey, like around the area of like Bloomfield, Montclair, like surrounding that area, Clifton stuff. Oh my gosh, I miss it. I had like a floor. I had my own floor. I had like my really big bedroom and then a bathroom next to it. That experience was life-changing. I swear to God, I'm not exaggerating. It has changed the course of my life it has shaped me the way that I am right now. And it's not necessarily because of the trip. I think it's definitely because of the host family. Now there's some tea. Now that's some tea. I'm going to get into it. Buckle up. Let's get ready. So let's talk about the first part, me arriving there. When I moved there, I was 19 years old. I had just turned 19. I was really insecure, I think. I think that's a good way to put it. Maybe not just completely insecure. I don't think that was at fault necessarily. I think I was also just young. I don't think I had many experiences yet. I think a lot of this has to do with my relationship with my mom. And I just want to say up front, before we get into this episode and everything, neither the host family nor my mom is at fault here at all. Like, I'm not bashing them at all. I'm just saying like all of the things that has made me become the way that I am. With anything in life, this is a very important thing, guys. Listen to this. At least this is the way that I do it and the way that I handle stuff. If you are experiencing something awful or bad or negative with a person, to some point, that is your fault. Because if you put yourself in that situation and you don't get yourself out of it, then how is that their fault? Like, if they're a shitty person, okay? Like, if this is talking about like, I think I'm shading my ex a little bit, but if someone is giving you a bad feeling or like a bad friend or like, maybe your boyfriend or girlfriend or boss or whatever it is, okay, whomever it is, if that person is giving you a bad feeling, however, you still stay in that situation, then it is partly your fault. Like, get out of that situation. Like, why are you still talking to that person? Why are you still putting yourself through that? Does that make sense? Stop. Get yourself out of that situation. Pull yourself away from that person. I went into a completely different subject. I arrived there and actually even before, I had just graduated high school. My high school journey was also a bit crazy. I feel like I want to get into that in a different episode, but you need to know like a little bit. I was not really the most social person. I think definitely in my last year of high school, I had made a group of friends. They were great. Yeah, so I graduated. I was determined to actually go to college in the States. I had applied to this university I did University of the Ozarks. And then I did another one. I just forgot which one it was. It was like this weird, like, but now that I think about it, I'm glad I didn't go. It looks like a cult when I look back at it. It was with a B. What was it? It was like this tuition-free school. for like low income families and stuff. But I'm not sure. I think it's like really difficult to get into. But where was it? It was far. It was like weird, in a weird spot. Whatever. So I got into the Ozarks. I did get into that one. I didn't get into the other one, which I forgot the name of. Jesus, so annoying. However, if you know, the colleges in America are like fucking expensive, right? I think if I remember correctly, it was like $8,000 a year and then I could obviously apply for financial aid. One thing Turkey and the States have in common is that their like systems of like paperwork is so crazy. Like, so if I would want to like apply to that scholarship, I had to do so much. Like, it's not necessarily the essay writing that was a problem. That's like fine, I got it. It was you like apply, then you like pay for something. Like, that's not even the worst part. Then you have to apply to another thing and it's like separate from each other and you like have to wait for the other thing to like come to the other. I don't know. It was a crazy, the logistics are so fucked up. Okay. It's a weird system. So I ended up not going, obviously. I was upset about it, though. I was just sad because, I don't know, I felt a little hopeless. And then I saw this thing of, like, au pairing, whatever. I was like, okay, fuck it. Let me, like, go for a year. And then, who knows, maybe I'll, like, my mom was like, girl, you're going to go and then not like it. And then you're going to come back and, like, you're going to have to, like, stay in college for 4 years. That's fucked up. I was like, no, I'll just do this thing. It's like 1 year, and like whatever. I'm safe from all corners. I went with like a program, like a company, travel exchange, little promo here. They're great though. So they accompany you throughout the process of getting your visa and like just the the matching of the families, because you go through this process. It's like Tinder on ice. No, just kidding. It's not like Tinder at all. I don't even know what that app is. Just kidding. It's a whole process. You had to go, you fill out your report. You had to bring like a doctor's report that you're healthy and well, a VOG, which is like a certificate of conduct. So like, I don't have a criminal record, I promise. Whatever. And then you like set up your profile. You just like put a little like text of who you are, like introductory, like, hi guys, I'm this and that, I do this and that. And other families have to do the same thing. You go through like the whole screening, whatever. It was a great company. That's why I loved it, because online you don't really have they don't do that. But this company, Interexchange, I think is like the sister company of travel, what was it? Travel exchange, something like that. So they do the screening and families set up their profiles as well. And then you like sort of, I think the families like reach out to you as an au pair. So then you have like multiple families to choose from. So I would like go, I think I went on like 3 video calls. I hated the first one. She was weird. She was like, oh, sorry. I don't want to say that someone's weird just because they're different than I am. See, I'm growing. Look at me growing. She was interesting. She had a kid with, I'm sure that's like really difficult though. She had a kid with like a lot of allergies, and it was just, yeah. And he needed like extra care. And I didn't know if I was like, if I was ready to take that responsibility. Mind you, I'm like 19 years old. Okay, like back then we didn't have TikTok. We had Vine. Actually, we didn't even have Vine. When was Vine? I think Vine was in 2016. Okay, so she didn't work out. Then there was another family in San Diego. I remember the first one was in San Francisco. The second one was in San Diego. I think this is important because I think it's funny that my life could have ended up like so differently if I probably went to those places. Not just because of like, not necessarily because of anything specific. I just think that fate is really interesting. So the San Diego people had like one baby. I can't remember why I didn't like them. I think in my mind, I really wanted like a lot of kids. I was watching a lot of Jordan Page. If you know her, she's like a YouTuber. She has like 8 kids. I think she's like Mormon. yeah, they usually have a lot of kids, right? I don't know. I'm not trying to generalize people, but yeah, so I was obsessed with the idea of how back then I would say like, oh, I want 10 kids when I grow up. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. 19-year-old Seema had different plans. She was a different little child. Good for her. No way. I'm not doing 10 kids. But yeah, so I had this idea of like, I wanted a lot of kids and for my host family. So I matched with this other family. We have this FaceTime. They were so cool. I remember my first impression was like, these people are cool. Like I just looked up to them. They were so cool. So it's Lindsay and James, and they liked my profile because they would have loved the Netherlands if they were like geographically like by chance were born here. They would have loved it here. They like ride bikes, like mountain bike, you know what I mean? So they go on runs, you know, like the typical Caucasian family. I match with them and we have this conversation. They're great. They love that I'm like ethnically Turkish because apparently they like eat Turkish food. And they love Turkish food, but they also love Dutch culture. So I was like, hold up, this is perfect, probably. And they had 3 kids. So I guess we match. And then we set it up. It was like, that's it. You're going to that family. I was like, okay, I'm so excited. So fun. I start packing, start doing like these goodbye parties, whatever. It felt like I was going for a year. Mind you, I ended up going 6 months because of COVID, but we'll get to that. I was planning on going for a year, and then I was like throwing these parties. Like, I mean, I didn't throw like multiple parties. It was just like one family gathering, but it felt like I was going for like forever. It really did. Because I feel like everyone sort of knows and like gets my affinity with that country. So they were like, okay, this girl's not coming back. She's not coming back. Of course, I ended up coming back. Here I am. Back in this great country, she says sarcastically. So yeah, I fly out. We had a 3-day orientation in New York City. It was so fun. And then all of these au pairs come in from like different places from around the world. Now that I look back at it, I wish I was more social. I was so focused on only making American friends that I didn't really engage with other people from other cultures. That's so stupid of me. Gosh, I wish I went now. I wish I could go now. So yeah, it was like all these like girls, and there was also guys actually from different countries. So everyone like gathers in New York City. They do the 3-day orientation program, and then they fly out to their designated like city. So it could be anywhere from like San Fran, like California, to like fucking Chicago, whatever. I obviously was in New Jersey. So gosh, I love Jersey. Like when I talk about it, I'm getting so like emotional, and like I love it there. I'm a Jersey girl at heart. The 3 days we had what is it? Like first aid. I think it's called first aid, like first aid training. Learning how to do the staying alive. Chest compressions. If you guys have watched Dr. Mike on YouTube. So we learned that. We had a little bit of time to like explore the city. I did shopping. I bought my Dr. Martens there. I still wear them. Love them. They're great. Bro, how did it feel? I felt when I landed, I think I cried. And when I left, I cried too in the plane. I cried like a baby. It felt surreal to me. I don't know. For some reason, you know what? I think I can tell you. That place, it feels far away. It feels like when you're that age, it feels not reachable. I want you guys to understand that, first of all, I didn't have many friends when I was 19. Second of all, I lived with just my mom. My mom, like, only speaks Turkish. She's very Turkish. Nothing wrong with that. But like for her, all of that is very unfamiliar. She hasn't been to a lot of places in the world. Like actually I think she only went to like Paris with me and Turkey. We like traveled Turkey a lot together. And that was only because I was getting older and I could she's not very like, you know, she wouldn't like, she's not very independent. Like she wouldn't be able, I mean, she's independent in her own ways, but not when it comes to traveling. I feel like she would be scared and like have anxiety to travel solo, I guess. You know, I couldn't necessarily be like my mom was never like, oh well girl, it's just like a country, like we'll go, like let's go on like a 2-week trip to like New York. Like it felt very, very unreachable to me. It felt very far away mentally and physically, like location wise, and also just the idea of it. It felt just like a whole nother world to me. When I landed, I literally, gosh, I remember crying. I remember going through like, you get like your visa approved. Like you have to go through the border control, obviously. And yeah, they like let me in and it was like, they like put the little stamp on there. I was like, what the fuck is happening? Like start crying. Oh my God, I'm getting goosebumps. I like walk in, there's this big sign. It's like, welcome to the United States of America. Red, white, and blue, motherfucker. Something like that. Gosh, it felt so good. And then I landed in JFK and I had to find a little shuttle. It was late, so I was very on my fight or flight mode actually. I couldn't really take it all in because I was like, I'm trying to get to the hotel. I'm trying to not die. I've heard the rumors. New York City is not the safest place necessarily. So I get to the hotel, I check in. Thankfully, everything's great. But I remember just in that shuttle, just looking at it. Was dark. It was late when I arrived. I couldn't really see a lot, but I did see like we drove past Broadway. Just seeing back then on TikTok the musical Beetlejuice was really popular. So driving past that, I saw like the Beetlejuice like logo, whatever, on the or like the billboards. It felt amazing. It felt surreal to me. It felt like I was dreaming. I couldn't take it in. It felt like it just insane. I don't even know why. I think it felt so unreachable, and for me to be there all alone, I don't know. I feel like I did everything. I peaked. I was like, I can't peak higher than this. This is all I got. Yeah. So whatever, the orientation's done. And then Lindsay is texting me and she's like, what did she say? She was like, can you like go over here and here and I can like pick you up from there. So I'm trying to figure it out. I couldn't. I was like, listen, I don't know. Like I was like, I'm lost. She was so kind. She picked me up from the hotel with her car. It was awkward though. It was awkward. I don't know. I had a really big luggage. But then again, I was staying for a year, so. So she picks me up. We're in the car. Then she starts driving. And I'm like, I think I was quiet. I was just taking it all in. Just also because like that was the first time that I was in the car driving around New York. We were going to New Jersey, obviously. We were going home. It was the first time driving around in New York, and then it was light and I didn't have to walk and I didn't have to be very alert because like when I'm traveling solo, I'm usually very fight or flight, obviously, because I'm trying to like not die. New York is also really fast paced. I remember like taking pictures of fucking shit for my Instagram and they'd like push me away. They'd be like, stay on the right side of the road or something like that. I don't know. They're like, get out of my way. Yeah, that was crazy. So I was like looking at my house. I was really quiet in the car. It was awkward. I was trying to make conversation. Mind you, my English, it was good. It was just like this, but I didn't know what I was saying. People ask me how I speak English so well. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. Or I used to not know, actually. I would, the way that I learn languages, they say that I'm also really good at German, even though I only had like 1 or 2 years of German in my class, like at high school. I imitate people. That's what I do. And I mean, like, when it comes to language, I just listened a lot. I watched a lot of YouTube. I watched like Bethany Mota. When I was like 17, I watched a lot of Emma Chamberlain. I was like one of her, I don't want to be that girl, but I was like one of her first fans, whatever. No, I loved her from the beginning, but I'm sure just like any other person. So they had a lot of influence on my language capabilities. The way that I would do it is I would just repeat. I wouldn't repeat necessarily, but I would just hear it so often or hear certain like combination of words creating sentences so often that I think my brain just like saved it. The funny thing is I'm learning about all of that right now in college, but I'm like not picking up any of it. I'm sorry. I could speak English. My accent was great. I also had a thing for like I could do the American accent pretty well. Like you couldn't really hear that I was Dutch. Sometimes you did back then though. Back then it sounded a little bit more, I think grammatically, or I was like missing words. I would say a lot. I still do that, but I guess more back then. And my brain, I mean, I was thinking in English, but I also wasn't. It was difficult to like trying to, it still is, to trying to like figure out how to manage 3 languages in my head. My mom would call me and I'd speak Turkish, or like fucking friends would call me and I'd speak Dutch. And then it's like, come downstairs, Sima. It was interesting. So I guess over there, my English got better a little bit. And maybe the older I got, the more I understood what I was actually saying. I don't even know if that makes sense to you guys. I literally did not know what I was saying. I would like say things, like I would say sentences that I thought were good in that context. It was so weird. I wish I could like explain. Maybe like some linguists out there can get what I mean or have like studied this before. But so she would talk about something in the car, right, on our way home. And I guess she asked about like the first aid training, if I'm tired or something like that. And then we like got to New Jersey. Actually, I could probably say where it is because they moved. They moved like far away. Should I just say it? Fuck it. Okay, Glen Ridge. We get to Glen Ridge and we're like driving in, and she is talking about like The Sopranos and how it was filmed there. Apparently. I don't know. I've never fucking seen Sopranos. But like right now, if someone would tell me like, oh, actually this town's where Sopranos was, I'd be like, oh, that's so cool. Wait, I haven't never heard of that show. Like, what's it about? Whatever. I would know how to make small talk. I think that's the problem. I did not know how to make small talk in English. In general, actually, I was 19. I was antisocial as fuck. I was like, I don't fucking know what the fuck is going on. I was really good with kids though. If y'all are like, what the fuck did she do with 3 kids? So she's talking, and then she starts talking about politics. I'm like, when did we, what? How did we get here? I mean, I guess I guess it was relevant. I mean, I don't know. I guess I think their elections were coming up. And like all I knew during that conversation was just the things that I saw online. Like I would just like bring up conversation topics that I would like seen on Instagram or some shit. Like the Washington Post did a post on fucking elections coming up. And I'd be like, the election's coming up, huh? And then, I don't know. Bro, what the fuck do I talk about with like a 38-year-old woman? I'm 19. What, we're going to talk about my high school crushes? That was awkward. Whatever. We get in. We get into the house, and I don't think anyone was there yet. The kids were there. I think. Were the kids there? Yeah, the kids were there, but I was still trying to take it all in. I was still in daydream land. I was like, I can't fucking believe I'm here. I was so excited. I was so happy. I just felt so happy. And everything was going so fast. Yeah. I still have goosebumps when I think about it, bro. It's crazy. So then James was walking the dog. If anyone knows me, they know that back like a couple of years ago, I was terrified of dogs. Just fucking dramatic as fuck, but like actually just scared. I would like have nightmares. Ask my mom. It's true. I would have nightmares and I would like screaming, wake up and be like, a dog attacked me. Also cats, actually. I'm still kind of scared of cats, but like now it's less dramatic. I wouldn't, I guess, scream. I knew that this family had a giant dog. I knew it. I don't know what. I've always been this way. I think I was just like, fuck it, I don't care. I'll just get over my fear. Don't be so dramatic, Seema. Gosh, I miss that dog. Can I say the dog's name, or is it also like thinking about the dog's privacy? Guys, don't attack her. It was a girl. She was a girl. Let's call her. I gotta do her justice. She was amazing, that dog. Lola. Let's call her. That's not doing her justice at all, but you know what? It's fine for the sake of this story. So Lola and James, they were, James was taking out Lola, and He walks in with her. At that point, I'm like, I have to shake hands with James and be like, hi, I'm Seema. Nice to meet you. But the dog, but Lola is giant and I am terrified. So, of course, Lola is very sweet, but she, as normal, as dogs behave, she wants to get to know this new person that's entering the house, and she's obviously very protective of the kids. And so she sort of jumps on me. She's not biting or anything. She's just curious. Like, she's like, who is this? I'm just on the edge of tears. I'm just about to cry. So she's like jumping on me a little bit. And I'm like scared, whatever. And then I think I like read somewhere that you have to let the dog sort of sniff you to like get familiar with you, if that makes sense. So I like I reached my hand out to her. And I was like, hi Lola. And like sort of let her smell. But I'm terrified. Mind you, I'm shaking. My hand is shaking. I'm like, I bet you this family was thinking like, this bitch, she lied to us. She is terrified of dogs. Like, is this going to be a problem? They probably had like anxiety about it or some shit. I don't know. James was really sweet. He was like, yeah, don't worry. She's Lola's a little curious, but she'll get over it, whatever. And then Lindsay was also encouraging me that it's going to be fine. So I believed her. Lola was a little timid. She stood away from me. She would like sleep under the dining table, like very far away in the living room. But she would still keep an eye out. That was really cool of her. She's like, cool. We're buddies. We're bros. We're girly bros. Two baddies, if you will. Okay. The first few days with Lola, so my room was at the very top of the house, but it wasn't like an attic. It was just a regular staircase leading up to my room, whatever. So I'd had like you like walk up the stairs, and then there's my floor, right? And then you see 3 doors. You see the first door is the bathroom, second door is my room, and then the third door was like a storage room, something like that. The thing is, it's like you have like a small hallway, sort of. There's like a hallway a little bit. And the first 3 days of me sleeping there, Lola would wait for me in front of my room, like in that hallway. She would just wait there. And then I'd open my door to get downstairs, and she'd just like, she wouldn't attack me, but she'd like run up to me. And like, yeah. So I had to, every morning, I would wake up and face my fears. Just waking up and like, let's go, baby, this is happening. Because I couldn't wash my face. The bathroom is right there. So I'd be like, okay, I got this. I'm just gonna like run through. Okay, I would like walk out and be like, hi Lola. Just like like on my tippy toes, just going to the bathroom and then getting ready. And then every time that after like I think the second day, I was like, okay, fuck it, I'm just gonna like bawl. So I walk out, let her sniff my hand, walk away, do it again. And so at some point she like got sick of me. Lola is like, once she knows you, she's like, I don't care about you. She's a baddie like that. Okay, she's slay. Seriously, like she doesn't like. She's not a regular like a golden retriever that would like want love and affection and she's just protective a little bit, and that's it. She like vibes on her own. We love her for that. So what I mean is like she wouldn't bother me after that at all. And it's really cute actually, our story with Lola, because she would love broccoli, like the stems of broccoli. Because that part usually doesn't get eaten, right? So they would cut it up and give it to her, and she would fucking just destroy that shit in 2 minutes, like 2 seconds actually. She loved that. So now every time I cut broccoli, I think about her. Lola, you legend. Lola, you queen. Slay. So back then I was very apologetic. I would like, so I live in that house, and it's like, it's not a new house, but like I'm new there, right? And, every household has other rules and other common things that they do and routines and stuff. So let's say like a fucking example. I don't know, just like a random example. This never happened, but like, let's say like you like put salt on something and then you like put it on the table, but they put it on the counter or something like that. That's like never happened, but just an example. And then I'd say sorry. Like, okay, you're there for the first time. You don't need to apologize. Feel me? Like, you don't need to. It's understandable that you don't get it right the first time. And I definitely was just so insecure for some reason. I don't know. In some way, I think I felt inferior. I don't know why. Do you guys have that too, where you like feel inferior next to like Caucasian people? Maybe that's like my own inner racism towards myself. Could that be? Wow, we're getting really deep here. Now I want to talk to you guys about I guess first you need to like understand with how it works with as an au pair. I would work 40 hours a week. And then usually my weekends were off, but it could like, that's just my experience. And some au pairs have it like, it's like a maximum of 40 hours a week. If they can't go over that, but they can also, the family can decide on how they want to spend that 40 hours a week, which means that if they want to, let's say, if they want to like let you work from Tuesday 3 p.m. until Wednesday 3 p.m., which means that like, I don't know, maybe they like go away for the night or some shit. You're like their own personal babysitter, but like only 40 hours max. If they want to like sleep away somewhere else for like the night, I guess they could, So my host family would usually just do Monday through Friday because the kids would go to school. I would like drop them off with the car and pick them up and just spend the day and night. And they worked like a 9 to 5, I guess. They had their own company with the hours. So I would have weekends off and I would get $200 a week. And that was just my money. Like I could do whatever I want with it. You're staying there. So you're allowed to, actually you have to be able to eat from their fridge, like just eat with them, if that makes sense. Like if they make meals, I guess they're really good cooks. I'm going to get into that later. But yeah, they would like cook. They would like always have breakfast, lunch and dinner. And, if not, like they'd have something in like leftovers in the fridge, and like I was always, you're as an au pair, you are allowed or you should be allowed to eat that, if that makes sense, unless it's like specified to not. Maybe it's like something special that they made in, yeah. So you're like part of the family when it comes to that. They had a car. They had 3 cars, I believe. Did I have 3 cars or 2 cars? They had 3. Gosh, Americans. They had 3 cars. One was Leslie's. Leslie? What the fuck? One was Lindsay's. Now I'm messing up my fake host parent's name. One was Lindsay's. One was James's, and one was the family car. But I was allowed to use it. They were really kind about that. They would put gas in it, and I would pick up the kids with that car. But on the weekends, sometimes I could like take it out and whatever. They didn't want me to get into the city with that, which I understand. So I'd just like stay in Glen Ridge. I'd stay in Montclair. I guess one time I went to the mall. Fuck, I forgot the name of the mall, but it was a really nice mall. That experience, I went to Black Friday in New York City, but I guess I also went into like a mall a couple of times, and it was like a really big one. I also went to like strip malls. That was also fucking crazy. Like the concept of America is insane. It's like such a dystopian world to be in. I felt like I was in a movie constantly. I woke up, would go out, and I would see like stop signs. I'd be like, what the fuck? We have stop signs here, okay? We have them here. It was just... Pop culture is so surrounded and based off of the United States. And I guess because I grew up with that, and I guess because I grew up with like watching Bethany Mote go to Target, go to Walmart and like do hauls and Black Friday shopping and like stuff like that, I feel like in some way I felt like I missed out on it, or I felt like I resonated with that because of my affinity with it, because of how I was like almost raised with those girls on YouTube and social media and whatnot. So yeah, I fucking loved it. I loved being there. I loved being able to finally go into stores like that and like have that experience of my own. Americans are so nice. Americans are so kind compared to here. Like, listen, okay, Dutchies are nice and kind too, whatever. I guess in my own Turkish community here, everyone's just so judgy all the time. And I'm not saying that Americans are not judgy by all means. I'm just mean in general, they're open to making friends and they're open to learn new things and they're good at small talk. And people would tell me like, it's like, oh, well, they're fake polite. You know what? You know what, little on the fleur? You know what, Marjolein? Listen, I would rather have people be fake polite to me than tell me that I'm like boring or something. Or like that I'm like, no, not boring, but like, oh, fuck, how do I say this? I had this classmate of mine this year, actually, this happened. She said from the beginning, she's like, I'm very direct and whatnot. Something went wrong with submitting an assignment on Canvas, and she fucking bashed me. She like bashed me into the ground. She was like, yeah, and like, why? Like, why didn't you do that? And couldn't you have like done this better? And like, didn't you have like do this or whatever? And it wasn't even my fault. It was like Canvas's fault. I was like telling her, I was like, girl, it's like not my fault. Like, can you calm down? She was like, I'm calm. It's just like you didn't try hard enough. I'm like, excuse me? That's rude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just rude. I don't know, bro. No, I think this is a good way to say it. Like, they're being fake polite, but I would rather have fake politeness than not politeness. Just no. just no just no conversation at all. And like, just a random example. Last week I went to Starbucks. Or like this, was it coffee company? Whatever, it doesn't matter. Just a coffee place. I go up to the barista, I'm asking, can I have this and that? They're like, okay, for $4.55, please. And then you pay, and then that's it. And in the States, every fucking store I went in, even if it was like a mall, it would be like, hi, how are you? Did you find everything today? I'm like, yeah, I'm good, thank you. I did. And she'd be like, oh, yeah, this is so cute. When are you going to wear this? I'm like, oh, yeah, just for fun. She's like, oh, I love that. Just fuck, I love that shit. Okay, I'll eat it up. I'll have that above $4.55, please. Like, I would have that fake politeness. And it's not customer service. Like, I've experienced it with like when I'll try and make friends and stuff. I went to Montclair State University to do like this social group thing. I don't know, whatever. I met like friends. So they're so interested and like they like talk about like they would ask me, oh my gosh, okay, you're from this, like how is it there? And it could be because they're really curious about the place itself, but they're also just friendly and they're kind. Like I feel like here there's a lot of that like bubble. They don't want to get out of that clique of theirs. They just want to like stay with their own people, and it's hard to like get in. That's the thing, okay? That's how I feel. I feel like within my host family, Lindsay was very, I guess you could see them as like good cop, bad cop. Lindsay was very a strong woman, I would say. She had gone through a lot of stuff. I'm not going to disclaim what, but she's just a strong woman, okay? And sometimes 19-year-old fragile Seema would crumble underneath that. I looked up to her, but I also was sort of scared of her, but I also was like, I fucking didn't care or something. I don't know. I did care. I cared a lot, but I was like, you know what? It's a lot. It was a lot. I didn't know how to handle certain things. I would have, like, they had like a certain way that they wanted to raise the kids, which I respect and I understand, and I think it's great. Like, they didn't want them to be screen or /phone obsessed, if that makes sense. They didn't allow screens at all. They didn't have iPads, no TV. They didn't have a TV. They had one in the basement, but like was never used. One occasion I remember was I had a phone. They gave me a phone because that phone had a SIM card in it. And I guess like AT&T, they like paid for my data. And I would like go on Instagram sometimes, whatever, maybe in the kitchen. And the kitchen was like we spent the most time in the kitchen, like everyone in the family, I feel like, even if I was working or if I was not working and they were just, we're just hanging out as a big family. I flew in October, and then Thanksgiving happened, and I took like a picture of the setup. Then like during Christmas, like in the morning, they had like made me like a breakfast, like waffles and stuff. It was like really cute setup. I took a picture of that and I posted it on Instagram. Obviously no kids on it, just like the table setup, right? Just like you see the waffle, you see the maple syrup, and you see like what, orange juice, something like that. And then after Christmas, immediately, we went on a Florida trip. So when you're an au pair and they want to go on a trip, like they could either take you with them or you get like vacation, which is great because if they don't take you with them, that they don't have to, but then you have like vacation, which is great. Like you can like travel, whatever you want to do. And it doesn't count as your vacation days because vacation days have to be discussed together. They took me with, and I didn't have to work a lot. I worked like 10 hours that week. I think, I can't remember. I think they like rented a car. Yeah, they rented a car. We were driving from the airport to the home that we were staying at, and I think I was taking pictures of Florida in the car. I was like sitting next to the window. I was like taking pictures of Florida, and at some point the little girl, the 3-year-old, whom I spent most time with, by the way, because the other two go to like school and she didn't yet back then. I think she was 2.5 back then. So she goes like, "Can you take a picture of me, Seema?" Something like that. And I was like, okay, sure. Like I took like a selfie. So we get to the house, whatever. We like unpack, we have dinner. I get like a little tour of the house. It was great. It was a beautiful home. And I think it was the second day. We stayed for like 6 days. We left on January 1st of 2020. Right before the pandemic. Woohoo! That was crazy. Can you believe like a world existed before Corona happened? Fucking crazy. So we stayed until January 1st. I think the second day there was a pool in the house, in front of the house or in the backyard. And so all the kids were swimming. I was not working. I was also enjoying the day with them. I think I had like come back I was allowed to like go out and do whatever I wanted, obviously. And I had like a bike that I could use over there, so I like biked a little around town. So what had happened was they like called me. The kids were swimming in the pool, and I think I had just come in. They were like, "Hey, Seema, how was it? How was outside? How was it? How was your little ride out? With the bike?" I was like, "It was fun. It's so pretty here. I love Florida." Haha. Both of them, James and Lindsay, are sitting down. Right, we're like in the backyard where the pool is. And there's like a little terrace, and we're sitting on these nice chairs, and they were like, "We want to talk with you about something." I'm like, "Oh fuck." Mind you, again, I'm 19, not confident at all. I'm like so insecure. My mind is racing. I have anxiety. I'm like, "Fuck, what did I do? Like, did I do something wrong?" Like, I'm trying to like, for some reason, I was really trying to please them. Like, it was like my people pleasing era. Not good. I was really trying hard to like do right, I guess. I don't know why I was so not wanting to fail them. So they're like, "We have been noticing a difference in the behavior of our kids because of your phone usage." I'm like, "What?" I think I said like, "What?" I was shocked. I was like, "What?" I don't pull out my phone when I'm with them, when I'm like working. Like, of course I know not to like fucking do shit on my phone when I'm not working. I'm not stupid. I didn't say that, but I did think it. So I'm like, "In what ways? Like, how do you mean?" So she said like, "Yeah, like when the car," she was saying like, "Can you take a picture of me? Remember?" I was like, "Oh, well, do you want me to?" Oh yeah, and there was this other thing. I had like so their old au pair had an Instagram account. The old au pair, let's call her Lisa. The old au pair, Lisa, had an Instagram account for the kids, and she'd like post things on them. Lisa stayed there for like 2.5 years, so she was really close with both the family as well as the kids. During Thanksgiving, she was there as well. She came to Thanksgiving dinner, and then we like met and we talked a little bit. And she was older. She was like, I think she was 26 back then. She gave me the Instagram account and the password, and she was like, "Yeah, you can like post pictures of them." And it was like a closed off account. It was like a private account, and like just the family followed the kids, right? I think just like the parents followed the account, as well as like the grandma and and herself. So Lisa's self. So she was like, yeah, if you want, like, not to like pressure you, but like if you want to take pictures of them and like post or something, and I can like, she misses the kids a lot, Lisa. So she was like, I can like see it too, and like, I don't know, it'd be like fun to keep memories for yourself as well. I was like, sure, that's fun. So me and my silly little creative brain that I had kids experience. I worked at a daycare. I mean, I volunteered at a daycare for 2 years to be able to like do this, but I didn't have a kid on my own, and I didn't know. I knew how to like. I had the skills with kids, but I didn't have the right parenting skills, if that makes sense. So I knew what to do when a child would fall. I knew what to do when a child would cry and have a tantrum. Like I knew how to handle their behavior. I just didn't know in the long term when it comes to parenting. So things like, at that point the lines are blurred, right? So she's like, you can like take pictures and like post it, whatever. So me and my dumb creative 19-year-old brain, I was like, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna post them, and I'm gonna like write a little story about the post, and like, I don't know, I think I like turned them into this sounds so stupid. I'm so sorry. That like in reflection, they were right to get mad at me. They didn't get mad, but like to confront me about it. Like I would like post the kids or like one kid, and I'd be like, today, oh my gosh, so cringy when I think back to it. I said like, today, Mr. something something went on his first park trip. Everything's going very well. Like in a very narrative perspective. I would like write captions of the photos on that Instagram account. Again, it's a private account, but still, like it's kind of weird. Like what? It is weird. Like it's not even kind of. It literally is weird. Why would you like make those kids like turn them into characters? Like what the fuck? As an older person, first of all, and as a more experienced person, and like I feel like I'm at the age like I've crossed the age where I'm like, okay, if I would have kids now, I'd probably be ready. I'm not gonna have kids, but I'm saying I'm ready. So I don't know. I completely understand. They already followed that account, so they knew about it, obviously, but they were like, wait, what the fuck? Probably. I don't know. They didn't tell me that exactly, but I'm just assuming that's how they thought. They were like, yo, actually, could you not turn our kids into characters of this Instagram account? I guess, I mean, my ego, I was like, what? This is so stupid. Like, why would you like be so like extreme about this and whatever? I would like think that. They were so right, of course. They didn't get mad, but they were just like, could you like also just be careful and mindful of what you're posting, of what you're saying and doing next to the kids. I was like, okay. I got defensive a little bit. I got confused. I just didn't understand. Like, I wish that they would understand that I didn't understand. They were like, why is this girl just saying no? Like, it's our kids. Can you just not? I didn't get it. I felt personally attacked, even though of course it's not a personal, like, it's nothing to do with me. It's just, could you not? Like, it's just the kids, So things like that happened, not a lot, because it was 6 months, but it just felt like an eternity. I swear to God, I felt like I was there for a long time. They shaped me, and that experience there, it wasn't necessarily about the country. I think I learned a lot because of the family. And I'm going to get more into that in the next episode, because I've been talking for an hour and 20 minutes. And my throat is dry and I keep coughing. So thank you guys for listening to this episode. I'm going to get more into what happened over there in the next one. And I really hope that you guys have been enjoying these podcast episodes. And I just want to tell you guys quickly about the fact that I'm also going to be doing Dutch episodes on here, as well as Turkish. And it's going to have different guests. And we're going to talk about experiences and bridges between cultures. Whoa, crazy! So again, thank you guys so much for listening. Please give me a 5-star rating on Spotify and follow the account. And if you have any suggestions, comments, ideas, people that I should collaborate with, that I know, of course, and that would want to, of course. Don't give me that shit of like, go make a podcast with Joe Rogan. He probably doesn't even know where Turkey is. Never mind the Netherlands. Actually, he probably doesn't know that, but you know what I mean? Just give me like fun suggestions. If you want to be a guest on the podcast, let me know. I will try and make it happen, baby. Let's go.